On today's show, fire and ice and everything Minnesota nice.
Oh, I can make ice luminaries.
A luminary trail hike that starts with this old cardboard box. These hot rodders celebrate racing season, never mind the ice and snow. And we bundle up and head into the field with George Ilstrup, the guy who brings the world of ice into the classroom.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hey everybody, Laura, Millie, and I welcome you to today's episode.
There's nothing like a walk on a cold winter starry night.
Which is exactly why we set out to document a very special trail.
It's a tale of fire and ice created by a volunteer who's full of Minnesota nice.
Minnesota winters, the time of year where the solstice means we lose our light early. This crew intends to change that.
And it's going to be even better tonight with the snow and the full moon. Got it. Okay.
Gotta set a couple down here.
No wind, there's snow on the trees. It's gorgeous out here. We haven't done this event since COVID, so I think it's been 3 years. Everybody ready? The last time we did it, we had around 800 people come. We're here for the candlelight walk this evening. We're just starting to set up our luminaries. We light about a mile of trail, so 5,280 feet. And we put a luminary every 30 feet.
Good.
You can do the math.
Yeah, lighting sometimes takes longer than you think.
Lots of time, lots of candles.
These are originals, white ones. When they come from Bruce, they're all different colors.
Ah yes, Bruce.
It's like, oh, I can make ice luminaries.
Bruce Gravel realized the state needed candles. Lots and lots of candles.
Started recycling all their old candles and making new candles for them. And that started as a Bronze Award Girl Scout project of my daughters, and we just kind of continued it. And I mix them all together and melt them down. And so then I use my old camp stove, and in three-pound old coffee cans, I can do 75 candles. And the molds are just PVC pipes, pop them out, and then I box them up into boxes of 150 candles apiece. I've made about between 1,000 to 1,500 candles a year.
He graduated to the cold candle holders too.
So here's a couple. Bring them inside for a few minutes to warm them up so it's easier for them to come out of the mold. Take them over and dump them out. Snow is deep. There it comes. There's a nice clear one. And they are slippery.
He freezes up stacks of them. They end up out here, where lots of people get to see them.
Isn't that cool?
My name is Oscar.
Yep, even Oscar.
Oh, it's just people love it, and it's a great community building thing, and it's just nice to get out and be active and do something.
And this is the time to come. It's like 7:20, trails are cleared out a little bit. You had a bonfire at the other end.
Yeah, and loved all the luminaries. Yeah. They did a good job on all of them. They're beautiful.
Good trail.
Oh, it's a beautiful night for a walk, and snow, all the new snow and the lights and full moon. It's just a perfect night.
Yeah, something fun to do.
Fun for the dogs too.
I liked how still and quiet. It was magical with these icy lanterns.
It was good. Yeah, it's super pretty.
Yeah.
Fire and ice and everything Minnesota nice. Our trailside take on winter's northern lights.
It
Luminous.
was a perfect night.
Perfect.
Full moon, no
Timed it.
wind.
It was really fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The lights are fun to walk along.
Great evening.
Up next, it's race day on the ice.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, Strike Master, Leech Lake Area Tourism, and by Voyager Lodge and Houseboats.
Up next, we head north to Akeley, Minnesota, where Ron Schara caught up with some winter hot rodders, members of an unusual club that race during the winter season.
Time to start your engines. Perfect conditions, ice and windshields for these hot rodders in Akeley, Minnesota. Racing conditions like this are just right. Miserable.
For one thing, it's something to do in the wintertime.
Really?
Oh, we've got a heater going in there. I mean, we're in there toasty as a bug in a rug.
I'm a motorhead. I've been a motorhead all my life. It's a 1987 Chevy Caprice. I got a Pontiac 400 under the hood.
The 1984 Buick Regal.
This is an 85 Chevy Caprice, and we got a small block crate motor.
With the Vortec 350 with 310,000 miles on it.
We slacked our old Minnesota street stock cam and heads in it and intake, and he takes a beat. And
It's an 88 Cutlass, and it has a 350 crate motor, Chevrolet motor in it. And then we had a transmission custom built. We only run first gear in these cars, and we just let the engine sing.
The Akeley Ice Racing Club gathers every winter Saturday at noon on 11th Crow Wing Lake and has since the 1970s.
It's a little slick over there in 1 and 2, so watch it.
So when heat number 1 is out, please heat number 2 line up. So we're not waiting. Gotta draw new pills. So here's for set number 2. 27.
Hey, it's race. Good luck.
Local race fans brave the chill to watch the action.
Last weekend we had 11, and we could have 15 to 20 today.
And you better believe, backseat drivers are allowed.
Do you guys both mind?
Yep.
I usually push my feet here. I'll fix it. Yeah, keep myself like up again.
If you were going to get into ice racing, come and ride first.
The track is pretty slick today. Last weekend down here, we had pretty good hook, but today you got to move around a little bit and search for it. We always show up to take first. It doesn't happen all the time. That's why we call it racing.
So when the races are over, when the motor fixing is done and the snow quits a-flying, the winner's prize is a coveted thing among racers, bragging rights.
Still ahead, climbers pick a path. It just happens to be straight up. But first, the work of a photographer who is not afraid of frostbite.
Closed captioning provided by Star Bank.
Last winter, Ron Schara tagged along with George Ilstrup, a photographer known for his winter images, photographs that are having an impact in the classroom.
On a below-zero morning, photographer George Ilstrup swims to one of his favorite subjects.
I think the cold just shies people away, but the winter's really, in my opinion, by far the best season up here. The ice, the sea smoke, there's a lot that makes winter really great up here. Every day the ice looks different. Every day it's kind of a new scene.
Good, yeah, feels great. Yeah, no, it's the best time to be out.
Ice and frigid temps may be his favorite conditions to capture images, but George's favorite place to work isn't always ice caves. Rather, it's here.
So we're going to do a little descriptive writing lesson. Our learning goal today is to write creatively to describe details in the photo.
George, the teacher, quite literally hopes to bring the world into his 5th grade classroom through his photography.
A lot of times when I take photos, especially the photos during the wintertime, it's really cold. Describing a photo as cold, once again, kind of boring. Okay, what are some words we could use in exchange for cold?
Freezing.
Freezing, yeah.
If I could pick any elementary age, it would be 5th grade. 5th graders are really funny. They're kind of figuring out that sense of humor, sarcasm, and then kind of figuring out where the line is, and sometimes they cross it and push it too far, and I just think it's a really fun age. So this is a picture from Grand Portage in an ice cave. What are some of the details that we see in this photo? Okay, Braylee, what do you see?
Reflection.
Reflection from the sunrise, yeah. Yeah, this is actually the first tornado I ever saw. And yeah, I think I actually did have goosebumps. Just a little background on the photo. This is a photo from Tetagooch State Park. This is a day where the waves were really big.
Turns out, chasing frigid waves isn't his biggest thrill.
The water stuff I don't feel a ton of adrenaline with. Storm chasing, sometimes yes. I'd be lying if I said I didn't like that, but I really just like chasing that really special photo. When they see some of these pictures of ice caves and giant waves, they just seem blown away. So I think a lot of them don't realize like that's kind of right in their backyard. So that's also cool for them to make that connection.
It's a connection not lost on the students.
He's probably the funniest person I've ever met, and I love his photos.
Or the teacher.
Two Harbors, we have great kids up here, and we're fortunate to have pretty nice class sizes. It's a good school to be at too, and just really great kids here.
As soon as class is over,
it's I think -22 with a wind chill in the -40s to -50s. So I believe it's the coldest day of the year so far.
hey, the water temp is warmer than the air. Perfect weather for picture taking.
Still ahead, an ice climb becomes a Minnesota destination.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Flow Docks and Lifts, Midwest Exteriors MN, and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Okay, it's time for everyone to face their fears.
Especially if you're afraid of heights or extreme cold temperatures.
Minnesotans, we're known for making the best of long winters. We ski, we fish. But what about climbing? Back in 2005, a small group of climbers approached the city of Sandstone. Their idea, organize a winter festival.
We've got ice climbing, there's winter camping going on, there's some great trail hiking around this area. It's a great way to welcome in the winter, get people out and enjoy the park.
So how many people here have climbed any ice at all before? Raise your hand. All right, we're teaching an intro to ice clinic for the Sandstone Ice Fest. We've got about 15 participants and going to get people off the ground and teach them the basics of moving around on ice. Let's walk over to the site. The Sandstone Ice Fest is running all week long. There's clinics, one clinic today and a number of clinics tomorrow, ranging from intro to ice to advanced mixed climbing techniques. You want to kick those feet up and you're better off, much like rock climbing, making a few small movements than one giant movement.
Climbing the cold stuff comes with challenges, mainly the ice itself.
When you see terrain like some of these kind of chandeliered stuff that's in here, or these bulges, you know, hitting on the outside of the bulges, you know, as it curls over, those tend to shatter and they pull off what we call dinner plates because they're kind of round chunks and they land on your head or your chest or your knee and can be less than pleasant. Really get that hand up high. It's a little different than rock climbing. Some of the movements are similar, but I think it's maybe a little more strength intensive sometimes. All right, a few steps, you're gonna get a little more vertical. Take it up a notch.
It's a great facility. We've got the parks open year-round for climbing. And in the last couple of years, the Minnesota Climbers Association's worked with the city of Sandstone to add plumbing above the cliffs. So now they can make their own ice as they go.
Awesome.
Question is, what do the students think of Ice Climbing 101?
Feels good. Second time here. That was excellent. It was awesome. Found a new hobby.
The first thing I was thinking of was, how can I get out of this? How can I chicken out? But, you know, everybody else did it, so then I tried it and it wasn't that hard.
Well, I've done rock climbing before and I thought it might be similar to that, but I wasn't too sure about the ice. I don't really like the cold, but I wasn't too scared of it.
The lesson, just get outside and climb. It's what we do here in a cold Minnesota.
You've actually done that a few times.
I have. I got the bug after the Sandstone climb, and I even went to Alaska to ice climb a glacier.
Glad you made it back.
I got the bug. Thank you. Well, that about does it for us. We'll see you back here next week.
In the meantime, don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors and maybe even ice climbing.
Yeah.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.